There is no hunting like the hunting of man, and those who have hunted armed men long enough and liked it, never care for anything else thereafter. But man is not made for defeat. A man can be destroyed but not defeated. There is nothing to writing. All you do is sit down at a typewriter and bleed. Courage is grace under pressure. Always do sober what you said you'd do drunk. That will teach you to keep your mouth shut. The world breaks everyone, and afterward, some are strong in broken places. An intelligent man is sometimes forced to be drunk to spend time with his fools. There is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow men. True nobility lies in being superior to your former self. The best way to find out if you can trust somebody is to trust them. Never go on trips with anyone you do not love. I love sleep. My life has the tendency to fall apart when I'm awake, you know. When you go to war as a boy, you have a great illusion of immortality. Other people get killed, not you. Then, when you are badly wounded the first time, you lose that illusion, and you know it can happen to you. There is no friend as loyal as a book. There is no lonelier man in death, except the suicide, than that man who has lived many years with a good wife and then outlived her. If two people love each other, there can be no happy end to it. I like to listen. I have learned a great deal from listening carefully. Most people never listen. Happiness in intelligent people is the rarest thing I know. Every man's life ends the same way. It is only the details of how he lived and how he died that distinguish one man from another. You're beautiful, like a mayfly. Never mistake motion for action. The world is a fine place and worth fighting for, and I hate very much to leave it. In modern war, you will die like a dog for no good reason. Never think that war, no matter how necessary, nor how justified, is not a crime. What is moral is what you feel good after, and what is immoral is what you feel bad after. We are all apprentices in a craft where no one ever becomes a master. When people talk, listen completely. Most people never listen. All things truly wicked start from innocence. The shortest answer is doing the thing. Hesitation increases in relation to risk in equal proportion to age. Time is the last thing we have. The only thing that could spoil a day was people. People were always the limiters of happiness, except for the very few that were as good as spring itself. As you get older, it is harder to have heroes, but it is sort of necessary. Fear of death increases in exact proportion to an increase in wealth. All good books have one thing in common: they are truer than if they had really happened. Why should anybody be interested in some old man who was a failure? It's none of their business that you have to learn how to write. Let them think you were born that way. My aim is to put down on paper what I see and what I feel in the best and simplest way. If a writer knows enough about what he is writing about, he may omit things that he knows. The dignity of movement of an iceberg is due to only 1/9 of it being above water. All modern American literature comes from one book by Mark Twain called Huckleberry Finn. Once we have a war, there is only one thing to do. It must be won. For defeat brings worse things than any that can ever happen in war. I know now that there is no one thing that is true, it is all true. The game of golf would lose a great deal if croquet mallets and billiard cues were allowed on the putting green. If you have success, you have it for the wrong reasons. If you become popular, it is always because of the worst aspects of your work. I love to go to the zoo, but not on Sunday. I don't like to see people making fun of the animals when it should be the other way around. To be a successful father, there's one absolute rule: when you have a kid, don't look at it for the first 2 years. I rewrote the ending to Farewell to Arms, the last page of it, 39 times before I was satisfied. If you are lucky enough to have lived in Paris as a young man, then wherever you go for the rest of your life it stays with you, for Paris is a movable feast. Wars are caused by undefended wealth. That terrible mood of depression, whether it's any good or not, is what is known as the artist's reward. They wrote in the old days that it is sweet and fitting to die for one's country. But in modern war, there is nothing sweet nor fitting in your dying. You will die like a dog for no good reason. For a long time now I have tried simply to write the best I can. Sometimes I have good luck and write better than I can. A writer of fiction is really a congenital liar who invents from his own knowledge or that of other men. There is no rule on how to write. Sometimes it comes easily and perfectly. Sometimes it's like drilling rock and then blasting it out with charges. No weapon has ever settled a moral problem. It can impose a solution, but it cannot guarantee it to be a just one. You can wipe out your opponents. But if you do it unjustly, you become eligible for being wiped out yourself. Somebody just backing off you while you are fishing is as bad as someone looking over your shoulder while you write a letter to your girl.